Hi, guys, and welcome back to the FPL Duo. We're going to react to Matchday 4, which was the round of 16. And we will also look ahead to Matchday 5, which is the quarterfinals. So, yeah, what a set of fixtures. The round of 16 was brilliant. A lot of great games. Yeah, I can't wait for the stream. I want to get into it. We'll also talk about how our weeks went in regards to FPL, FPL, Fantasy World Cup. And yeah, we'll go through our teams and everything. But yeah, how you doing, Jordan? Everything good with you?
Yeah, everything's good. It's been quite a shocking round of 16 I've seen in probably the whole of my life in World Cup terms. It's been amazing watching the games throughout
Yeah.
this part of the World Cup. I can't wait till obviously the quarterfinals kick off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been brilliant so far. As Elliot says here in the chat, hey guys, thoroughly enjoying the knockout stage. Yeah, I'll say the same. It's been brilliant entertainment, a lot of nice goals, a couple of upsets maybe as well with the Morocco, but we'll talk about that as well. We'll get into it. Yeah. So yeah, guys, please do drop a like as you come into the stream and also hit that subscribe button if you're new. But we're here to talk about how we did in Matchday 4. So let's bring up our teams and discuss what went on. So yeah, where do I start? So let's start at Alisson. So I got Alisson in goal, and for those that did watch the Brazil game, what a game! 4-1 winners Brazil in the end. Brilliant game for those for a neutral like me, just watching, enjoying the first half was a bit mad. Richarlison and even Vinicius and Neymar all getting involved, but I was a bit disappointed for Alisson to concede this. And the funny thing is, literally as soon as after he conceded, he got subbed off for Waverton, the third goalie for Brazil. So unfortunately, Alisson only gets 2 points, but I thought Alisson had a great game individually. There was 2 or 3 top quality saves Alisson made. And yeah, I thought Brazil, any other goalie, Brazil probably have, I don't know, maybe scored 2 goals, maybe 3 goals career. Like, I thought Alisson made some nice saves in that game, even though it was very, very one-sided in that first half. But yeah, unfortunately, only the blank for Alisson. Moving on to the back three. So I got Theo Hernandez as well. As we know, France did win 3-1. And the annoying thing of that fixture as well was literally in the last minute, Poland ended up getting a penalty, which Lewandowski did convert on a retake. So obviously the first one, Lloris saved, but he was judged to be off his line. So they made him retake and he did score. Annoyingly, losing the clean sheet in the last minute. I think a lot of us saw Brazil and France keeping clean sheets. So I went with Alisson and obviously Hernandez didn't pay off. So yeah, blanks there. It was better news for Luke Shaw, who I did predict England to keep a clean sheet against Senegal. I did think it would be a tight game. I predicted England to actually win 1-0, but obviously they went and won 3-0. So it was a good game for England and Luke Shaw. And yeah, I was happy with the clean sheet. So 6 points from him. Moving on to Otamendi. I did bring Otamendi in because I thought Australia on paper were probably the easiest fixture. And as we saw, they did manage to get a goal against Argentina. I thought Argentina played quite poor in that first half. But in the second half, we know Argentina stepped it up. And yeah, so 4 points for Otamendi. And yeah, we move along. Moving on to the midfield 4. So we've got Rabiot first up. And Rabiot had a good game, obviously, but only got the 1 point. He didn't score. He didn't assist. And obviously, he did concede as well. They got that 1 goal that they conceded to Poland. So 1 point, maybe disappointing in the end. So yeah, nothing really to talk about there for Rabiot. And let's move on to Saka, who one of the highlights of my team in midfield, who I did back. Now, there was a scenario before the game. I actually messaged Jordan. I said, should I go for Bellingham or keep Saka? And lucky, I just trusted my instinct. I kept Saka, and obviously he did go and score that goal. So a nice 10 points from Saka, which I was very, very happy to see. So yeah, it was brilliant performance from him. I think he got the 1 goal for the 7 points, and then also the clean sheet. Got the 1 point for the clean sheet. So he was subbed off after 65 minutes, but 10 point haul after 65 minutes. I can't really complain too much. Moving on to Bruno Fernandes, who did pick up 5 points for me. They did concede in the end, so he doesn't get the clean sheet points, but Bruno did get an assist. So he gets 3 points for the assist, plus I think he had 3 key passes. So he also got 1 point for that. So yeah, 5 points from Bruno. I think I'll take that against it was a brilliant win, for Portugal, winning was it 6-1. So yeah, maybe a lot of people didn't see that coming, but yeah, I mean, without Ronaldo, it seems Portugal have another spring in their step and they end up winning 6-1, which was very interesting when the lineups came out, obviously. But yeah, Portugal go ahead and do a brilliant job. So yeah, Fernandes, a bit unfortunate that he only got the assist in a within 6 goals, he only got the 1 assist. So that was the only downer. Moving on to maybe the surprise of a tournament of this round so far. Spain are out. I don't know if people saw that coming. I can't remember what we predicted. We did say it would be quite tough for Spain. I think you did, didn't you? You said Morocco, didn't you?
Yeah, I said Morocco could clench it in the. Actually, I did say penalties. I think.
Yeah, I think you actually predicted that, right? I think you said Morocco to go through. So fair play to you. But Olmo only got me the 3 points. Obviously, he got the clean sheet point as well because it was 0-0. Moving into penalties, so he does pick up a clean sheet bonus for that. But yeah, Spain out, so not much to talk about there. Lost on penalties, and he will have to be removed from my team for match day 5. So we will talk about replacements, etc., in a sec as well. And finally, moving up top is where I think I had a nice picks. I think a lot of people did have these players anyway. So Mbappe, as we know, a massive haul from him, double-digit return, 30 points as my captain. And yeah, where do we begin with Mbappe? He just carries on performing for France. That is now, I think, 5 goals so far in this tournament. Match day 1, he gets 9 points. Match day 2, he gets 13 points. Match day 3, he didn't really start, so he only got the 1 point off the bench. And then match day 4, he gets whooping 15 points. So Mbappe definitely the standout player so far of the tournament. And obviously getting 2 goals and an assist. And yeah, I think he's looking very good. And obviously he's got England next. We'll see whether he can keep it up against England. I'm sure he'll be confident for that one. But yeah, happy to go with my captain. As for those that don't know, Messi was originally my captain. So Messi obviously played Australia. He did score. But before France played, I switched over the captaincy to Mbappe. And obviously that did pay off. Moving on to Messi, he did get the goal. 1 goal against Australia. It was a nice goal. A very nice finish into the bottom corner. So yeah, he gets me the 7 points. Plus I think he got 1 point for the 2 shots on target as well from Messi. So yeah, good win for Messi, and now he's into the quarterfinals, and he will face the Netherlands. Finally, we got to speak about Richarlison and Brazil. What a performance from Richarlison. 9-pointer from him, which is a very nice return. I wanted a Brazilian attacker, and I knew Richarlison was going to play. Obviously, Neymar, I could have went for Neymar, but obviously there was doubts around Neymar whether he will actually play because of injury and etc. But maybe Neymar does become an option now. But Richarlison at his price point of literally 7.5 million with Richarlison, you can't really go wrong. He also won the penalty, didn't he? So he got 2 points for that. Shots on target, he got 1 point. Goal, obviously the 5 points as well. So brilliant performance for Richarlison. Happy to get him into my team. And yeah, all in all, I am fairly happy with the team. Even though I got a red arrow, I was surprised when I saw that. But if you look at the bench, Martinez got me the 1 point, obviously conceded. Marquinhos, he also conceded, so got me the 1 point. Sandro, unfortunately, didn't start. There was rumors surrounding Sandro, and those rumors turned out to be true, so he didn't play. And Klaassen also got me 0 points because obviously during the Holland game, I think Holland did concede as well, didn't they? A 1 goal to USA, so that blanked out Klaassen. So 0 points there. But all in all, guys, obviously I didn't use any chips. I know a lot of people used boosters, etc. But obviously I didn't use one. And so my total points for match day 4, 78 points. So sorry, I'm quite happy with that in the sense. But yeah, red arrow, you can never be happy, I guess, with that. But I thought now when I saw my 78 points, I thought I should get a green, but not to be. So yeah, my rank's currently just below 30k. 78 points. I'm all out, and we will talk about match day 5 in a sec, and how we're gonna do the transfers, because we do get 5 free transfers, and we also allowed, I think, 5 players from each nationality now, so it makes things a bit more interesting. Anyway, got a comment here from Johnny. Says Portugal looked amazing today. Yeah, they look very good. Brilliant performance from everyone really involved. And they got Morocco next, and I think that could be another good, nice game for them. But we'll see, because Morocco don't look easy either.
Yeah, they did play extra minutes though, Morocco today, so that is a bit of an advantage for Portugal, who only played the 90 minutes.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. Obviously, Morocco extra 30 minutes in their legs from playing extra time. So we'll see how that does that affect them in the quarterfinals. But yeah, Jordan, let's move on to your team. Just talk us through how you've done in match day 4.
Okay, so I'll just talk through how my match day 4 team went. So we start with the goalkeeper. Same again, Addison, the goalkeeper, Brazilian goalkeeper, expected a nice, comfortable clean sheet for Brazil obviously in that South Korea game. Unfortunately, South Korea did score, and that wiped out Addison's clean sheet. It was
It was a brilliant
unfortunate.
goal.
Yeah, it was a great goal. It's kind of annoying though. Afterwards, he got subbed off, as we have mentioned prior. So it was annoying. He could have been subbed off before Korea scored. That would have been not much more nicer, as the clean sheet would have been kept for him. But unfortunately, no. So he is left with 2 points. Moving on to the defense. The first defender I have in my team is Otamendi. He did manage to get the assist on, I think, Messi's goal. So it was a nice little 4-pointer from him. Obviously, the clean sheet for Argentina was wiped due to a deflection from Australia's shot, which did deflect off Fernandez and went into the goal. So it did finish off as a 2-1 to Argentina, which was a kind of annoying as well. It was a pretty lucky goal for Australia, but I'll accept the assist from Otamendi. Moving on to the next defender, we have Van Dijk, who only scored the 1 point. The Netherlands did concede as well, unfortunately, in their games. So yeah, Van Dijk was only left with 1 point. There's probably other defenders I probably could have been better off going for instead of Van
Dumfries,
Dijk.
I think we got to speak about that Dumfries, because that
Yeah,
was a bit of a big performance from him, wasn't it?
yeah, it was a shocking performance from Dumfries, who was heavily took out due to having not had any sort of returns in the last 2 match days, and then all of a sudden he goes off and goes crazy with a double haul, which no one saw coming. But if you held on to Dumfries, well done. Moving on to the next defender, we have Romain Saiss, the Moroccan defender. I originally did have Sandro, the Brazilian defender, but I did transfer him out when I saw in the Brazilian lineup that he wasn't going to start due to him being injured. So I did transfer in during this match day, Romain Saiss. It's all I could really afford in terms of a decent defender, and it did pay off. Morocco and Spain ended 0-0 in the 90 minutes. So Romain Saiss did get the clean sheet, which was the 5 points. He did have 1 point taken off because he did get a yellow card in that game. So he was left with 5 points instead of the 6 as he would get without a yellow card. But it was a nice 5-pointer, especially on the transfer that I made mid match day 4, as I wasn't expecting to be a 0-0 draw between Spain and Morocco. Moving on to the next defender, as this sort of connects with Moroccan defender, we've got Jordi Alba, who got the 6 points because obviously Spain was 0-0 against Morocco. So it was a nice 6-pointer from Jordi Alba. And yeah, he had some opportunities for players to provide, but unfortunately none were really successful in that game, apart from near the end where can't remember his name.
They hit the post. I forgot his name as well. They hit the post in the last, I think, Sarabia.
Yeah, I think it's Sarabia that came on literally in the last few minutes of the game. Had the ball go across the goal, obviously hit the post and went out, which was unfortunate for Spain. Moving on to the midfield. So we got three midfielders in my team. The first one is McAllister, um, who got the 1 point. I was quite disappointed with Argentina that pretty much the whole game, especially in that first half. I
Yeah.
think the only exciting thing that happened was Messi scoring in the late stages of that first half, and that was it. The rest of it just seemed to be players just walking and jogging around, passing the ball back
Mm.
and back to front, forward and back to front in their own half, and not much action in that game. I was just hoping for like a absolute stormer, especially against a team like Australia. But yeah, McAllister only got the 1 point. Obviously, the clean sheet was white for them, so that leaves them with just one. And I think he did get substituted off early as well in the second half. Moving on to my next midfielder, we have Pulisic, the American midfielder. Uh, this assist, I cannot believe that he got because it was the most luckiest goal I think I've seen in the World Cup so far. The way
Yeah.
that was scored was absolutely ridiculous. But nonetheless, it did give Pulisic the assist from that ball that went in. It was
Yeah, I was a bit
quite
lucky.
it was extremely lucky. If he meant to do that, then fair play to him. But no, that was so annoying when I saw that go in
Yeah.
against the Netherlands, especially. It was quite a shame because Noppert was on for a nice 8 or 9 pointer in
Mm.
that game. But I accept the assist for Pulisic in that respect. I didn't expect much from the USA in that game, but it was nice to get a return from him. Moving on to the final midfielder, we got Bruno Fernandes, who was part of the 6-1 victory against Switzerland. Uh, Outstanding performance from the whole Portugal team. It was like literally watching Brazil the other day. Complete different team, Portugal. Interestingly, without Ronaldo as well, makes a few questions rise up for, especially the manager, whether
Mm.
uh, whether Ronaldo starts the next game or not, or do he just sticks to the team he had today. But Bruno did get an assist from a set piece corner, who was who obviously Pepe scored with a
Yeah.
header, which was nice for the first goal for Portugal, and that obviously led Fernandez with 5 points. I was quite surprised he didn't have more than that, if I'm honest, with the way that match was going for them.
Mm.
Moving on to the front three, we got Messi, who got a 7 pointer, scoring that nice goal against Australia. He was originally my captain choice, my first captain choice. If you're wondering why it's not on Messi anymore, I was kind of expecting a little bit more. It's nice to see Messi score, but the team in general wasn't really in like fifth gear. It was more like
Mm.
in like in second or third, coming to the second half. But yeah, I'm happy that Messi scored at least and got 7 points from that game. My next forward is Gakpo. He got 1 point in that game. That's kind of unfortunate. I think I went for the wrong Netherlands players in terms of the fact that they won 3-1, and Gakpo wasn't a part of that at all. Pretty much all went to Depay up front. So yeah, I was a bit unfortunate with that. A bit of annoyance that Gakpo only got 1 point. He had a few, I say, half chances to get something, but yeah, 1 point. I'll say I'll take that and see. And finally, we got probably the star of the match day. We got Mbappe, who I did switch to captain C2 after Messi. Quite happy that I did after he scored those two nice goals. Fantastic goals that he scored. Nice, calm, relaxed, chilled out. It's like he was playing five-a-side football at his secondary school. The way he scored those two goals, it was just no effort in it at all. Just precision and a nice finish from Mbappe. Yeah, he got the 15 pointer. Obviously, with the captain over him, it's 30 points. So he did kind of really save the match day for me because it did look pretty bad the way the match day was going. But
Mm.
that is how my starting 11 team went. I'll just briefly talk about my team bench. So we got the Netherlands goalkeeper Noppert, who only got the 2 points Obviously, we've spoken about how lucky that goal was scored in the USA to break Noppert's clean sheet. We've got the midfielder, Enzo Fernandez, who got 0 points. Because of that deflection from that goal that Australia scored, it did deflect off of him, and it did count towards him as an own goal. So that's why he's on 0, because
Did
obviously he
it?
had according to um, according to the website, that counted as an own goal for Enzo Fernandez because it deflected off of him
Is it still
towards
showing
him.
that? I
I,
mean,
f- I think so.
I'll be surprised.
He was on 1 point until that happened.
Fair enough. You may be right. I've not checked, but I thought it was just a normal deflection.
Yeah,
But
because
yeah.
I think it was non-direct from the Australian, and then
Oh,
Fernandez.
yeah, you're correct. Apparently went down as the end zone goal. Okay, I didn't know that.
It was very annoying when I saw that. I thought, really,
Yeah.
from that range as well. Yes, but he ended up on 0. We've got the midfielder, De Jong, who got the 0 points as well. 0 contribution really from De Jong. He kind of played a bit deeper than usual in that game. Not really involved much as the other players were in that game, which was kind of a bit of a pain, especially for the price he's at. He didn't quite do much in that game. And finally, we got Theo Hernandez. Obviously, we've spoken about the unlucky handball from the France defender, which led to a Poland penalty. A bit unfair because it was the last seconds of that game,
Yeah, I'm
and I was
not sure if
hoping.
that was a handball as well. Like it was a harsh one, I think.
Yeah, it was a very harsh one because we've seen some that haven't been given like that, and some have, which I'll say is kind of a misjudged by VAR from that. But at the end of the day, we'll carry on, and yeah, he got 1 point. Unfortunately, France's clean sheet was wiped because of that. And that is pretty much how my team benches have gone. I'll just quickly say what my rank was and what it is now. So I was 8,000k in Matchday 3. I'm now on the red arrow. Obviously, I'm on 24,666 rank now. I was kind of half expecting that because a lot of people did use their chips in this Matchday 4. And I'm not really unhappy about the red arrow. I was expecting it. And it could have been much worse, if I'm honest. I'm quite happy with 24k. I got 68 match day points in this week, so it's my highest score in match day so far. And obviously, I didn't have any boosters used, so that says none. So that is pretty much my summary of how my match day 4 team has went.
Okay, thank you for that. And yeah, so the 2 red arrows for both of us. I mean, mine was quite small, so yeah, 78 points, 68 points. Yeah, we'll move on and we'll speak about match day 5 as well, because obviously quarterfinals is here now. This is where the interesting part is, I guess. You can get a lot of good games probably. Well, hopefully we do anyway. But yeah, we're just gonna read a few more comments out. Also, just want to add, guys, if you are watching still, please do drop a like on the video and also subscribe to the channel if you are new. Krogsberg, what you think about bringing in Cancelo, some Portugal players? I mean, Cancelo didn't start today, so he was on the bench. I think Diego Dalot started, the Man United right back. So I'm not sure on Cancelo. Does he keep his place? Because obviously 6-1 today without Cancelo. Does he come back in? I'm not so sure. Look, Diego Dalot played really well today, so he could keep his spot in that right back slot. So I'm not sure about him, but definitely we can consider some Portugal players. I mean, they've got Morocco next, so see, we've both got Bruno, haven't we?
Yeah, I've pretty much had Bruno for most of my match days. He is rated in a lot of points for Portugal, highest scoring player so far for Portugal. In terms of bringing in Cancelo as well, just a big point on that. Yeah, he was benched today, which I'm not surprised that he hasn't really performed that well in the match days. Like he hasn't really given much, not as much as he does with Man City, at least with Portugal though. It's not up to scratch with Cancelo, and with Dalot, he also got an assist of one of the goals today. So the manager might want to stick with Dalot instead of Cancelo.
Oh yeah, Johnny also points out it's not about Delo. Guerrero played instead of Cancelo, which is also yeah, actually, because Cancelo does play left back as well. So
Ah,
Guerrero is the one we could also talk about because Rafael Guerrero, who did score a goal today and got an assist, I believe. So definitely consider getting Guerrero in as well. Actually, like I think he is a good pick. Obviously, got the nice goal and an assist, so you can't really go wrong. So yeah, you can consider Portugal for sure. We're going to talk about our plans in a sec. They've got Morocco next. We'll have to do little predictions maybe for that one. Maybe we'll leave that to the deadline stream actually. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see how that does play out as well. But yeah, Portugal definitely. We could also maybe look at Ramos after his hat trick tonight. Does he become an option? Is that too knee jerky? I mean, it is a knee jerk stream, but we'll have to see with that. But obviously Pepe got the goal today. Rafael Guerrero got a goal. Obviously Ramos got a hat trick. And who else scored? I think Rafael Leao came on and scored, didn't he, as well? I think that was it.
yeah. There's a lot of goal scorers involved. That was his
Mm.
first match as well, Ramos, of World Cup wise,
Oh, yeah.
for minutes.
I mean,
It was,
Ronaldo's been playing every game. But
yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's going to be a tough decision. Does he bring Ronaldo back in? Or does he just stick to Ramos, who just got a hat trick? I mean, surely you can't drop the guy just to score a hat trick, but we'll see what happens against Morocco. But yeah, that is now match day 4 kind of out the way. We are going to discuss match day 5 now and talk about fixtures, players that we should be targeting, and all that sort of stuff. So I'm going to share my screen with you guys while I do bring up. Obviously, match day 5 is now open, I believe. So you can start making changes. You do get 5 free transfers as well. So yeah, it's a lot of transfers. So you can mess around with your team and change it up pretty much. So as you guys can see, this is what my team currently looks like. So just I did do an early transfer as well, guys. Just want to point that out. So before Portugal and who did they play? Switzerland finished, literally an hour or half an hour before the game finished. I switched out Alexandro to Danilo. So you can see Danilo is now on my bench at the bottom, but that was just because Alexandro isn't expected to start, I don't think. So I just thought, let me just switch him out to Danilo and use my transfer because I had 4 and I only used 1. So I kind of burned 3 transfers because I just didn't know who I wanted to bring in. And I was kind of happy with my team. Were you in that same boat? Like, I'm kind of happy with my team. I've got 4 free transfers. But I don't really want to take Saka out or Messi out or Mbappe, etc. So I just left it.
Well, I did personally. I used my free transfers just to take out players that were knocked out of my team because obviously I had a few that were knocked out at the World Cup.
Yeah. Also, Olmo, guys. You see Olmo there. I wanted to take Olmo out, but the problem was I wanted Paqueta, who's Brazilian, and that would give me 5 Brazil, so I couldn't do it. I wanted to take out and bring Paqueta in, but it didn't let me because the 5 nationality thing doesn't kick in until match day 5, so I couldn't do it. But yeah, let's sort my team out. Johnny says my defense looks mid. I mean, I don't expect to play all of them. I mean, Marquinhos is definitely going to start for me anyway. I'll probably take out, let's say, Shaw for now. I'll probably do some changes, but obviously Fernandez. Why is that showing as a blank?
It hasn't updated the Portugal game yet.
Okay, cool. So we know the Portugal have Morocco, and we know Olmo is out. So what my plan was, just very quickly, we will do a team selection video where we break into why we've selected players and what to target. But very quickly, let's just discuss. If I take Olmo out, obviously he has to go out because he's knocked out. Spain have gone home. If I bring in Brazil and Paqueta, see, I do like that as a pick. Paqueta obviously did score against Korea, got the 9-pointer. Goal, a couple of key passes as well. So he's one that I'm looking at because I want another Brazilian player because obviously Brazil for me now look like favorites. I know Portugal played well today, but I still think Brazil are probably my favorites at this moment in time, along with France, obviously. But of the left side of the bracket, Brazil do look like they're destined to reach the final now. And if we're looking at midfielders, Anthony doesn't start, Gomes doesn't start, Everton, Ribeiro doesn't start, Fabinho doesn't start, Fred, he doesn't start either. So Casemiro and Paqueta are the only, or would you want to say, midfielders that actually start. So if I have to pick between Paqueta and Casemiro, I'm probably going to go Paqueta because he is that bit more forward. Obviously, Casemiro is a defensive midfielder, so I do like Paqueta as the pick at 7 million. I think he could be a little. I think a lot of people probably go with Paqueta. Obviously, when you look at Brazil's forward line, unfortunately, if Neymar was a midfielder or even Rafinha, or if they were listed in midfielders, then I'd definitely be looking to bring in Vinicius or whoever. But maybe there's a discussion to be had. Do we take out Richarlison to swap him for another Brazilian forward like a Neymar? I don't know, maybe a Vinicius. But for the money, I'm not sure you want to go there. But definitely Paqueta is one I'm looking at. Rabiot might go. I could take out Rabiot, which will leave me with 7.5. But again, what midfielders would you go for? I mean, Argentina, you could go for McAllister, etc. You could go for an Enzo as well. Not too keen on anyone else, really. But if we look at the fixtures, Jordan, obviously there's only 4 fixtures, right? I'm gonna let you discuss what your opinion is on the fixtures. Let's start on the first game, Croatia Brazil. Who are you targeting? Because obviously I've just gone through all the best players for Brazil that we want are all forwards. The only other 2 that start, Casemiro and Paqueta, are the only midfielders. So who do you target? Do you target any Croatian players, or do you think just avoid Croatia completely?
Yeah, for me, I'd probably avoid all Croatia players. It's going to be hard for Croatia to even score against Brazil. Let's just envision how many goals have been scored against Brazil. Is it only like 1?
I think they've only conceded 1 goal, and that was obviously when they rotated.
Yeah, so apart from that 1 goal where the team was rotated, I don't see Croatia scoring at all. I'll be very surprised if they get past 1, especially with Alisson as their goalkeeper as well, who is a top-notch goalkeeper.
Yeah, 2, sorry.
2.
I think they've conceded 2, obviously yesterday, and then 1 before that, Cameroon.
Yeah, Brazil are quite a solid team, and Croatia did struggle in their last matchday game against Japan, I believe. Yes, Japan. I think they went to penalties as well. So Croatia did play. Is it Japan and Croatia?
My mind's gone blank here.
Yeah, I can't.
But matchday 4.
Yeah.
Japan, Croatia. Yeah, he went to penalties. You're correct. Mine went black there.
That's another thing to consider as well. Japan and Croatia obviously played 30 more minutes in their game as well, so a lot of tired legs. I know they have rest now until the quarterfinals, but those extra minutes do count towards players,
and they didn't look good. If I'm being honest,
they didn't look good, and Japan literally at times looked like they were going to win in that game, and I think it was quite unfortunate they lost on penalties, as I would say not very good penalty takers, as they're quite not in practice in terms of that. But there was moments in that game where Japan could have easily clinched that from Croatia, and I think they were quite fortunate to go through on penalties. And I think in terms of the next fixture against Brazil, it's probably going to be a whitewash, if I'm honest. It would be like a high score quarter final, which is very rare. I very doubt Croatia are really going to able to hold back from all these star players for Brazil.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't be targeting Croatia.
So currently I've got Danilo, I've got Richarlison, I've got Marquinhos, I've got Alisson. So that's 4. I could have another 1 more. So it looks like we want to have, 4 or 5 Brazil players for sure and target that Croatia fixture. Because we do expect Brazil now to probably beat Croatia and then maybe even beat the winner of Argentina Netherlands and then go to the final now. So you probably want more Brazilian players. Moving on to Argentina Netherlands. I expect Argentina to win, but we have seen some surprising things in this tournament. So you can never, ever go against Netherlands, I guess. But what are we saying for this one? How many would you have? Like, obviously, I've got Messi, I've got Otamendi, I've got Martinez as well. So I've got three from Argentina.
If I'm honest, from last match day, I was not impressed with Argentina, especially when I picked 4 players from
Yeah,
that game, especially against Australia, which I thought would be a complete whitewash. I know Australia defended pretty well in that game against Argentina, but I did expect them to step it up a bit in that
hmm
game nonetheless.
yeah,
So with this Argentina Netherlands game, I'm not going heavy on Argentina. I'll probably have 2 players from there, maybe Messi and
yeah,
possibly Otamendi, and that's it. I'm not really keen on going for a midfielder. I know Di Maria might be back from
yeah.
obviously his injury, but that doesn't attract me at all. He's 8.5 million, expensive. And I don't know about Argentina how they approached this fixture against the Netherlands
Mm.
after struggling at times to score against Australia.
Yeah,
And
in the first half, definitely they looked lethargic and
yeah,
just sideways. And but in the second half, obviously Messi did play very. I thought Messi turned it up in the second half, especially in the last 20 minutes. But obviously, we saw the Lautaro Martinez comes on, misses a few chances as well. So yeah, Argentina, I understand. I'm not too bullish on Argentina. Even Netherlands, I don't think I'd be having any Netherlands players in my team. If I'm being honest, I know you could
yeah,
go for Gakpo or a Depay. You know,
um,
I don't know.
yeah. I think I'll have 2 Netherlands players. I think maybe Dumfries. I'll
Okay,
probably have in defence just because of his attacking threat, like he did
yeah,
his previous match day, which did pay off with a massive haul if you did have him. And second Netherlands player, I don't know. Maybe only stick with one actually. Go for Dumfries in that game.
hmm
I'm definitely not going heavy like I did in last match day because I did go 4 Dutch and 4 Argentinians, which did not pay off at all. So
yeah.
with them playing each other, it may be a low scoring game, maybe even 0-0 in that game.
Okay, so we're quite heavy on Brazil, Argentina, maybe two or three players. Morocco, Portugal. Now, what were you thinking for this one? Because a lot of
Yeah.
people expected Spain maybe to be here instead of Morocco, but Morocco are here
Mm.
deservedly. They've got Portugal next, who have just won 6-1, obviously, with a brilliant performance. Can Morocco do it again? Cause a bit of another upset? I wouldn't rule it past them, but what were you saying? You know, Bruno, I think a lot of us will probably have Bruno for that fixture. But Bruno does take up a lot of money as well. So he's quite expensive, isn't he, Bruno? But
Yeah.
yeah, would you have any Moroccan players? Obviously, Morocco didn't score today. They did
No.
kind of obviously. Morocco don't score many goals. It seems obviously in terms of XG, they are apparently the lowest in terms of XG created in the tournament so far. So yeah,
This
what's your take on having Moroccan players?
is a good question because mentioned in the chat by Johnny earlier, there's 2 injuries in the Moroccan squad. I think one is Romain Saiss
Mhm.
because he was sort of leggy near the end of the
Yeah,
second half of extra time. I'm not quite sure who the other injury player is in the Moroccan squad, but I do know Romain Saiss is one of them. Uh,
yeah,
and that could vastly affect their team, especially without those obviously those 2 key players that are now injured for Morocco, and
yeah,
it's not really what they want. They also played Agurd. Yeah,
yeah. I got
he was a massive key player, Agurd, in that game.
so both their centre backs potentially, which is
Yeah, it's not
hopefully they
good.
are back, but that will make a difference, I think.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously Morocco played much more minutes than obviously Portugal have. So it has been a tough road for Morocco to get to the quarterfinals. Whether they can beat Portugal, on the other hand, I don't think they can.
Mhm.
And especially if they don't have a good and remain Size back in
Yeah,
their squad fit enough for that game, I feel like Morocco will struggle defensively. They did put up a remarkable defence against Spain, stopping them all the way. But I think against Portugal, it might be a different outcome, I think. And I can see Portugal uh, winning that game.
so what Portugal players would you go for? Would you go for a double midfield of, let's say, Fernandez and maybe someone else? Would you go for a Portugal fullback like Rafa Guerrero? maybe potentially with getting a goal and assist today. Even Diego Dalot.
I would like to go for Delo if he's going to start in that game. It would be a nice alternative to obviously Cancelo. He's much cheaper
Yeah,
as well, and yeah, I wouldn't mind going for another midfielder other than Fernandes. I feel like you could really stack on the Portugal players in that game.
I just want to
Just
see something very quickly as well. Whether João Felix, etc. Even is João Felix a midfielder? I'm going to go Portugal here.
I think he is.
Bear with me
Oh,
for a sec. Go here. I'm just seeing if I go country, let's go Portugal. Bernardo's a midfielder, so you could go to Bernardo. Um, yeah, so Otavio as well, who did start today. And maybe Bernardo, but he's very expensive as well at 9 million. I don't think that's maybe worth it. He's playing more as a creator. So the forwards, obviously Ronaldo, who we don't know if he's going to start now after the performance of Ramos. Ramos is only 6.5 million, by the way, so it's very cheap forward. Obviously, they've got Andre Silva. João Felix is a forward, so I don't think I want to take up a forward spot with Felix. I mean, maybe the midfield is where we look at. I mean, Bernardo and Bruno, obviously Bernardo is 9 million and then Bruno is 9.5, so they're both very expensive and very hard to fit both of them in. We could take a punt on Otavio at 6 million, maybe. But other than that, we don't know really. Sorry, what were you going to say?
I was just gonna say about the comment. Yeah, Dalot being 5.5 is very attractive, and midfield, unfortunately, you've only got Bruno and Bernardo Silva. It's unfortunate that most of the players are forward positions, which we won't be really looking at. Otherwise, there might have been options for midfielders. Otherwise, but I think I've only got my eyes set on Dalot if he's starting against Morocco.
I like Rafael Guerrero. He's only 5 million. He didn't play. He did play match day 1. Match day 2, he also played. I believe so. He got the assist in match day 2. He didn't play in match day 3, and then obviously he played today with an 11-pointer for him today. So goal, assist, plus the 90 minutes. So Guerrero is an interesting one. Diego Dalot as well, another 5.5 million. I think those are the Portugal defenders you would look at. Dalot or Guerrero. Obviously, with Cancelo, we don't know now. Is he going to play in the game against Morocco after being dropped? It seems because his form hasn't been really up to scratch. You can say the same with Ronaldo. I know there was rumors with Ronaldo. It could be because of what he said to the manager. I don't think. I mean, it could be performance related if we're being honest. Cancelo and Ronaldo could just be a drop because of their performance, and maybe they wanted to change. So that's one thing we'll have to look at. In terms of Portugal's team lineup heading into that World Cup quarterfinal.
I mean, even for defence for Portugal tonight was the best I've seen them. Like we've seen in the previous match days, Portugal's defence was struggling at times, vulnerable to attacking teams. And without Cancelo in that team, it just looks much better with obviously the Guerrero and Dalot in those positions. It just looks much more better in terms of fullbacks.
Yeah, I mean, they look good today. We'll have to wait and see how much of that is down to Switzerland. Obviously, Switzerland weren't great, I don't think. But yeah, we'll have to see. Because obviously, Morocco will be a different test. Morocco are usually a bit more defensively solid. But if they are missing both their centre-backs, then maybe we feast on those Portugal fullbacks. But we'll have to wait and see in regards to team news. El Padrino says the manager would be mad to drop the fullbacks. Yeah, I agree. If I'm the Portugal manager, I'm starting Dalot and Guerrero for the next game. And I'm also playing Ramos as well up front. I think they deserve it. They've proven it with their performance. I think you'll be mad to drop them now. But that's just my opinion.
The funny thing is, before this match actually happened, people will probably be mad to say Ronaldo was dropped before this fixture.
I mean, I wasn't in that camp, but yeah, I mean, I was actually thinking maybe they could change it up because I felt like, I mean, Ronaldo, I don't think he's been great personally in the first 3 games. Obviously, he did get subbed off against Japan when they lost that one. But yeah, maybe the manager wants to go in a new direction. I don't know, but it'll be interesting to see what happens. Definitely. But yeah, so that's Portugal out the way. Maybe the wing backs we like the look of, definitely. Who else is there? Let's look at the fixtures. Obviously, the last game, England France. Now it's a big one because see, we want England to do well, but they got France, and that ain't going to be an easy game. So who do we go for? A lot of us have Mbappe, Hernandez, even Rabiot.
I'll say one key England player, I think, is Jude Bellingham. Because obviously, I think he's a nailed player for England. Won't be really much rotated or substituted off in that game, as he's pretty much played 90 minutes mostly. And he seems to be like the best midfielder at the moment in terms of opportunities, attacking. Yeah, overall, statistically, he is doing really well for England.
Yeah, just taking a look at Jude Bellingham. Obviously, he's only priced at 7.5 million, but as I say, it depends what we expect really to see from that game. Do we expect France to go through? As much as I want England to win, I think France will be a different test to what England have had so far in the tournament. And look, if they can get past France, then maybe, but it's going to be a tough game. And with Mbappe on the form he's at, it could struggle. So I'm not so keen on going with too many England players. I might go with one, maybe two, but that will be it. Probably one or two. I wouldn't go more than that. Maybe you can keep Saka or maybe a Bellingham. I'm not sure I'd have a defender really. I know I've got Luke Shaw, but I'll probably take Luke Shaw out. I don't know, but just looking at the midfielders, I think Foden's going to start probably. You'd hope so. Saka, you could go for him as I've got him in my team. He's had a good tournament. Obviously, 15 points in match day 1, and then another 10 points against Senegal in match day 4. But France, as we said, is a big test for England. So Jordan Henderson, I think many will be considering him, but he did score. I don't think he's an option though. But yeah, obviously forwards. I mean, there's Harry Kane. I wouldn't be going to Harry Kane. I don't think. Even Rashford and Sterling, they take up a forward spot. I think the only realistic options for England, if you are confident on England, is literally Saka, maybe a Foden, Bellingham's only. I think there's only 3 options for England, and that's if you back England to go through. But I think more if looking into France. Now, I was looking at the France team. They're in a similar boat to Brazil, where all their better players, the ones you want, are all forwards. So Mbappe, Griezmann, Dembele, Giroud. Those are the 4 you'd probably want in your team, but they're all forwards who will take up a spot. You look into the midfield. Midfield, they've got Camavinga, who doesn't really start. Chouameni, who is not really a goal scorer in that sense. Rabiot, who obviously a lot of us have. Veretout, Guendouzi won't play. And Coman is the other one who doesn't really start. So only, if you look at it, Rabiot and Chouameni, 6.5 million each. They don't really get many goals. I know they have, obviously Rabiot did score, but other than Rabiot, there's not really a midfielder you want to go to. So it's annoying with Brazil and France. All their players we want are forwards.
Yeah, I particularly wanted Dembele after watching France in the last game. Dembele was a lot involved in that game. A lot of providing from him, and he did also assist one of Mbappe's goals too. He didn't look quite sharp at times. He could have done better in some aspects, but it's the fact that he had so much possession of the ball in the position he plays on that right-hand side. And I was looking at it to see if he was a midfielder, and I checked it. No, he's obviously, we've seen it now. He's a forward, which was annoying because he would have been a great pick as well, as Rabiot.
Yeah, I think the one I'm going to make definitely, I'm getting Paqueta in probably. And the rest, you'll have to wait and see, guys, in the team selection video that we do release. When are we releasing the team selection? Probably Wednesday. Right?
Yes.
I'm just seeing when are we releasing the team select. Obviously, when is the finals? Sorry, not the final. The quarterfinals are on Friday, the first set. So we'll probably do the video Wednesday, Thursday. We'll probably put out the team selection videos and show you guys what we're doing. So do tune in for that. Do subscribe. Do like the video as well, so you don't miss out on anything. El Padrino says Brazil Portugal finals. Interesting. I think it will be Brazil France now if I had to pick. maybe it's obvious, that one, but yeah, I do think France will go all the way. I think Johnny says he thinks it'll be a high scoring game. 2-2 extra time looks likely. Fair enough. But yeah, we were just on this subject, obviously, how the players are listed, because in FPL, for example, Salah is a midfielder, Son is a midfielder, but then if it was the World Cup, Salah would probably be listed as a forward in the World Cup. So it is a bit more annoying for those. We want a lot more midfielders, those goal scoring midfielders, like a Salah, like a Son, like a KDB. I know KDB is a midfielder in the game, but yeah.
Yeah, it's like Martinelli. He's a midfielder in FPL, but for World Cup, he's a forward. So that's another annoying thing, because Martinelli would have been, if he was a first starter, of course, but he isn't. But if he was a first starter and a midfielder, he would have been a nice addition.
I agree. But yeah, that's it probably for today. We are gonna wrap it up here. We should say a massive thank you to everyone that has watched the stream. If you have enjoyed the content, please do smash the like button and also subscribe to the FPL Duo YouTube channel if you are new around here. We'll be back again on Wednesday, probably tomorrow, actually. Maybe tomorrow or Thursday latest. Obviously, we've got the Friday quarterfinals kickoff on Friday. So would you want to do the team selection probably tomorrow? I mean, we could do it tomorrow or Thursday. We'll decide.
Yeah, we'll see. Probably lean towards Thursday.
Okay. And yeah, that's it from us. Thank you for the comments, guys. El Padrino says, good show, boys. 1K soon come. Yeah, hopefully. That'll be nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, all your support is always appreciated, guys. Yeah, thank you, Elliot, as well. You should make a Discord in the future. Discord is in the pipeline. We will be making one. I just gotta get around to doing it. Obviously, been a bit busy, but we will definitely be making a Discord for sure. But yeah, that's it from the FPL Duo. Big thank you to everyone. I hope everyone enjoyed the match day 4. It's brilliant. I loved it, and I'm looking forward to the quarterfinals. Anything else you want to add before we do go, Jordan?
Hopefully everyone got green arrows and a nice rank and high scoring points for this match day. And yeah, we look forward to obviously the quarterfinals. I'm sure it's going to be shocking and exciting, as well as the round of 16 has been. So yeah, we hope to see you guys soon.
Yeah. Thank you for watching. Take care and have a good one, guys. Peace out.